Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10. From March 1st through March 31st, 2020, if you use this promo code, you will automatically be entered into a drawing to win a WPN Mystery Booster Box. Also, there's another way to enter where no purchase is necessary. See the link in the description below for full details. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends. Welcome to another edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. I hope this video finds you well. It's been a rough week for all of us, I know. And I felt, again, it's a good time to talk about some different things, get your mind off what's going on in the real world, and continue on with this series every Saturday. We're going to be looking at the cards that are going down in value, the cards that are going up in value. For the most part, though, as you could imagine, there's not a lot of cards going up in value, or at least not that much. Without paper tournaments going on anymore, you're going to see a lot of card prices going down in value as the demand is just not there right now. And the cards that are stable or going up in value tend to be more Commander cards. You can still play Commander at home with your family, so you do have people maybe still engaging in that format a little bit more. But for the most part, you're going to see here, there's not a lot of huge increases. Without any further ado, though, let's get into it. We're going to begin, as we always do, with Standard and your top 5 Standard legal cards that have lost value this week. Percentage-wise, out of all the formats, this is maybe the format getting hit the hardest because you got to consider your season's pretty much over if you play Paper Standard. Everything's going to be different by the time we sit back down and play at a table again. So you're going to have different decks. You're going to need different cards. A lot of people are getting rid of stuff right now. So let's see what's happening. Number 5 is Blood Crypt. It goes down $1.41 to $12.55. This is the one from Ravnica Allegiance. Now, in Standard, this was seeing play in Rakdos Sacrifice, and in Pioneer, it was seeing play there too, but really Modern is the format that I think likes this card the best right now. This is in big decks there like Jund and Dredge. Number 4 is Breeding Pool, another card from Ravnica Allegiance. As you can see, just a lot of general cards softening up, cards that you'd find in a lot of different decks. This one goes down $1.43 to $21.89, although there's another copy of this card going up, which we're going to see in just a few minutes. Now, this was seeing a lot of Standard play, of course, by the time the season was abruptly ended. Sultai Midrange, Thiemo Reclamation, Bant Midramp, and more. Sees play in some big Pioneer decks, though. Bant Spirit, Sultai Delirium, and more there, too. And it sees a lot of Modern play, of course, also in a very popular deck there, Amulet Titan. Number 3 is Brazen Borrower. It goes down $1.65 to $18.48. This has been an extremely solid card in multiple formats, but there is a copy coming out in the 2020 Challenger deck, Flash of Ferocity. So with those extra copies coming to the marketplace, this is especially soft right now. This was in Jeskai Fires, Thiemo Reclamation, and more this season. In Pioneer, it's in Spirits builds and more there. And it does see Modern and Legacy play too. Number 2 is Teferi Time Raveler, down $2.25 to $17.56. Now, this card is maybe going down in part because there were some foil stained glass copies that got out there recently with the Secret Lair drops. So there's extra copies out there in the marketplace of this as well. And again, you have a card that has been seeing a ton of play. Sure, in Standard, you would find it in Jeskai Fires, Bant Midrange, and more. But Pioneer, Azorius Control, Niv to Light, and more there. Modern, it's in Bant Snowblade, very popular deck. Artifact Breach, and more in that environment too. Legacy and Vintage players, they like this card as well. Number 1 is Embercleave. It goes down $3.02 to $15. Very popular card this season. But, again, you can find a copy in an upcoming 2020 Challenger deck, the one that is called Cavalcade Charge. That, again, has a lot to do with the reason it's losing as much value as it is losing. This season, this card was fantastic in Mono Red Aggro and more decks in the format. Pioneer this sees play in Mono Red Aggro and also Gruul Aggro. Alright, on to your top 6 Standard legal cards that have gained value this week, and obviously not a lot going on here. I made the cutoff of 10 cents as kind of our floor, so all the cards you're going to see in this section were going up 10 cents or more. Number 6 is Skeleton Archer. This is the one from Core Set 2020, but this is not in the regular booster packs. You can only find one copy of this in the Black Welcome deck. It goes up 10 cents to $1.23. Interestingly enough, this was also reprinted in Mystery Boosters recently. Now, we're not going to be talking about Mystery Booster prices in particular yet in these videos because they're still highly unstable. Those cards are crashing pretty hard right now, as you can imagine, not only because of the things going on in the world, but also because a lot of packs have been open recently. And just this week, Wizards also announced that they're doing another run of the product and sending it to game stores free of charge, so game stores can hopefully recoup some of their losses once things get going again. Number 5 is Immortal Phoenix from Core Set 2020. You can find one copy of this one in the Spellslinger starter kit. Again, not in the regular booster packs. It goes up 10 cents to $1.34. This does see a little bit of brawl play many times in the Perforos Bronze Blooded builds. Number 4 is Oko the Trickster. It goes up 14 cents to $2.23. This is the non-foil copy that you would find in collector boosters, not the foil that you would find in the Planeswalker deck. And of course, this is one of the Planeswalker deck Planeswalkers for Throne of Eldraine. Number 3 is the Other Breeding Pool, the original copy from Dissension, actually creeping up a little bit this week, up 29 cents to $32.28. Number 2 is Athreos Shroud Veiled. It goes up 38 cents to $5.40. Again, this is the one you would find that's non-foil in collector boosters, not the actual foil buy-a-box promo, but it is going up a little bit this week. It does see some brawl and commander play. And number 1 is Phantom Warrior. This is the one from Core Set 2020. You can only find one copy of this in the Core Set 2020 Blue Welcome deck. Again, not in the regular booster packs. It goes up 42 cents to $2.68. This card does have unique art though, so if you want this particular piece of art on the card, this is the version you have to get. Okay, on to Pioneer. In your top 5 Pioneer legal cards that have lost value this week, you're going to see here a number of pretty highly played cards that are just expensive right now. They're losing value the quickest. Number 5 is Gideon of the Trials, down $1.74 to $20. This card spiked recently because of the play it was seeing in Pioneer. You'll find this in Mono White Devotion, Azorius Control, and much more there. Number 4, same story, another card that spiked recently, Walking Ballista, down $2.16 to $24.05. This went up when Heliod Sun Crown came out with Theros Beyond Death, because obviously those two cards play really well together. But it doesn't need to be with that card to be amazing. This has always been a fantastic card. In Pioneer, this is in Mono White Devotion, Salty Delirium, Mono Green Walkers. In Modern, you'll find this in Tron. Sometimes Amulet Titan builds too. Legacy and Vintage players also like this card, and it's a huge commander card that has seen increased play because of Heliod Sun Crown. Number 3, Liliana the Last Hope, another card that spiked not too long ago. It goes down $2.60 to $40.88. You'll find this in Salty Delirium, Mono Black Vampires, and more in the format. Also, this gets some Modern Legacy and Vintage play too. Number 2, another card that has been going up in value, but not anymore. It's Jace Vryn's Prodigy. It goes down $2.94 to $36.56. And this card is in some big decks right now. Dimir Inverter, Salty Delirium, see some Vintage play as well. Number 1, 5th verse, same as the first. Dugan the Spirit Dragon goes down $7.33 to $54.68. And this is found in Mono Green Ramp, Lotus Breach, Modern, this is in Tron. Legacy, you'll find this in post builds. And it's also a big commander card. Okay, let's move on to your top 12 Pioneer legal cards that have gained value this week. Now, I chose a lot of cards, but again, you're not seeing a lot of cards moving up all that much, but I thought the stories behind many of them were interesting. Number 12 is Herald of the Pantheon. This goes up 12 cents to 87 cents. This is the copy from Commander 2018, though, the one that's a little harder to find. However, there is an Enchantress deck in Pioneer running 4 copies of this. It's a new deck. It's just starting out. We'll have to kind of see where it goes, but at least right now, people are interested in it. And also, as you can imagine, this has seen increased commander play recently with cards like Citizen Champion and some of those other Theros Beyond Death cards that came out that either are enchantments or care about enchantments. Number 11 is Pitiless Plunderer. It goes up 12 cents to $2.75, and this is actually a very popular commander card nowadays. You'll find it in builds like Korvold Chris King and Teysa Karlov. Number 10 is Waste Not. This is the one from Commander 2016, a little harder to find again. It goes up 12 cents to $7.20. And this has seen increased commander play ever since Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger came out. And there are other cards that are going up in value this week because of that card. Even if that's not the commander in the build, it does feel like a lot of people are going in that direction right now. Number 9 is Notion Thief from Dragon's Maze. It goes up 13 cents to $1.63. This is seeing a little more legacy sideboard play. There is a new Grove of the Burn Willows, Punishing Fire deck out there that's doing okay on Magic Online right now. Typically runs one copy of this in the sideboard. But I think the main reason this is going up more so is because of Commander. First off, it is a pretty popular Commander card generally, but also this does see play many times in Lazav Dimir Mastermind decks, and those decks might be getting better since Ikoria is going to be bringing a lot of big creatures to the format very soon. Ultimately, it leads to a little more interest in this card. Number 8 is Angrath the Flame Chained. It goes up 14 cents to $5.46, and this is another card that could get a little bit better with big powerful creatures coming from Ikoria. However, there's more going on than just that with this card. First off, this has seen increased commander play with Kroxa, so here's another card that kind of falls into that category. Also, this is a good card in Xantcha builds, And Xancha was mentioned on the Command Zone podcast this week, so maybe that's not a coincidence. Number 7 is Knight of the White Orchid from Shards of Alara. This goes up 14 cents to $7.95. This is in Mono White Devotion and Pioneer, and this has also seen increased commander play recently with Sir Gwyn, Hero of Ashval. Number 6 is Lazav Dimir Mastermind. This is the copy from the Guilds of Ravnica Dimir Guild Kit, though. It goes up 17 cents to $1.85. And like I mentioned earlier, this card stands to get better in Commander with Ikoria bringing big, powerful creatures soon. But even without that, this is still a very good Commander card. Number 5 is Nezahal Primal Tide. It goes up 19 cents to $3.33. This has been seeing more Commander play recently because of Arixmethes decks. Those decks have taken off a little bit because of cards from Theros Beyond Death, things like Kiora the Sea God, Serpent of Yawning Depths, Nadir Kraken, and more. Number 4, Burmaz, King of Oreskos. This goes up 22 cents to $13.29. This has seen increased Commander play recently with a reprinting of Arabo, Roar of the World, and OMG Kitties. Number 3 is Mutavault for Morningtide, going up 45 cents to $25.45. Now this card does see Pioneer play. You'll find this in Mono Red Aggro, Is It in Soul, Mono Black Aggro, Azorius Spirits, and more. This also does see some Modern play too, and it's a popular Commander card. It's in a lot of the Yuriko, the Tiger Shadow builds, which of course that card has been reprinted recently in Mystery Boosters, and it was also featured this week on Game Nights. Number 2, Aurelia the War Leader. Now this is the copy that can be found in the Guilds of Ravnica Boros Guild Kit. It can only be found in foil, at least this particular copy. It goes up 51 cents to $10.81. We're back to popular Commander cards with this one, and this is a very good card, especially in Kalia of the Vast builds. Number 1, one of the biggest Commander cards of them all, it's Cyclonic Rift, and this is the one from Modern Masters 2017. It goes up 52 cents to $23.98. Definitely being pushed by Commander more than anything, but it does see some Modern play sometimes too in Mono Blue Tron. Alright, speaking of Modern, let's move on to your top 5 Modern legal cards that have lost value this week. Number 5 is a card that is pretty expensive losing value, which is setting the stage for the next 4 to come as well. This is Dark Confidant from Ravnica City of Guilds. It goes down $3.41 to $46.56. Remember though, in addition to everything else going on with card prices, this is seeing less play in Jund decks than it used to see. It's kind of getting pushed out a little bit by things like Ren and 6 and Kroxa, so that's part of the reason the card has been soft recently too. It does see play in Rakdos Unearth and some other decks in the format, which include Jund some of the time at least, and it also sees play in Legacy and Vintage as well. Number 4 is Thrumming Stone, down $3.93 to $36.05. This card had spiked recently, so you are seeing a pretty big downturn now. The spike was due to the Year of the Rat Secret Lair drop that came out, which had a lot of people building Commander Rat decks, which of course include Rat Colony, which this card plays well with. Number 3, Jace the Mind Sculptor, the one from Masters 25, goes down $4.77 to $90.24. Wow, this card keeps dropping. Still sees a lot of play though. This is in Bant Snowblade, which is very popular, Azorius Control, sometimes Dimir Wurza, and more. Sees Legacy play as well. Number 2 is Sliver Legion. This goes down $6.42 to $78. This card has been very hot ever since the reprinting of Sliver Overlord and Killer Kaleidoscope. Once people found that card was a little easier to get, many of them felt it was time to build that Commander Sliver deck, and this card went up quite a bit because of that, but now you're seeing a big downturn again. Number 1 is Send Triplets from Alara Reborn. It goes down $8.10 to $47.50. This card has been gaining a lot of value recently. It's a huge Commander card. However, it did get a reprinting in the WPN Mystery Boosters as a foil, so with those extra copies out there combined with everything else going on, this card is going down quite a bit this week. Okay, on to the top 7 Modern legal cards that have gained value this week. Again, a lot of these are going to be because of Commander. Number 7, Quest for Ula's Temple. It goes up 46 cents to $4.29. And this card's going up in value because of Arixmethes again. A lot of people playing those decks in Commander. Number 6 is Dread. This goes up 50 cents to $7.97. Good Commander card in those Xancha Sleeper Agent decks. So again, with that mentioned in the Command Zone, maybe some people are interested in this week. Number 5 is Misty Rainforest from Modern Masters 2017. It goes up 55 cents this week to $69.51. Generally though, fetch lands are still going down in value because of the announcement a week ago. If you missed it for some reason, basically they're coming out with a Secret Lair Ultimate Edition, which is going to feature 1 copy of the enemy fetch lands each, and you'll get those 5 cards in non-foil in the product, but it's going to be a very expensive product that is really hard to get. It's going to go to game stores, but in very limited quantities. However, the part of the message a lot of people lost was it's going to be even easier to get some of these enemy fetch lands in the future because of a couple reasons. One, if you buy the next big Secret Lair bundle, which was going to come out in June, but now that's been delayed. If you do buy that complete bundle though in the future, whenever that is, you'll get one of the enemy fetch reprints at random, which will put more copies out there. And also they said later in 2020, which again maybe will be delayed now, there is going to be another product that goes to game stores. It's not a standard product, but it is going to have fetch lands in it. Most likely one of the other supplemental products we already know about will contain them. So it may be a while, but these things are incoming in larger quantities soon. Now this one in particular is good to have for Modern. It's in Bant Snowblade, Urza builds, Amulet Titan, and more. Sees Legacy and Vintage play too. Number 4 is Eldrazi Conscription. This is the one from Ultimate Masters. It goes up 59 cents to 1077. And this card has been pretty hot recently for a number of different reasons. In Modern, there's a Storm Herald Hollow 1 deck that runs 4 copies of this in the main that a lot of people are interested in, so that's a big reason it's been going up recently. But also, it does see more Commander play now. Ever since Citizen Champion came out, and also some of the other cards from Theros that care about enchantments or are enchantments, you do see the enchantment strategy picking up more steam in the format. And also with Mark Rosewater mentioning that Ikoria is actually going to bring us an aura that is going to give the biggest boost of power toughness in history. Maybe you take something like Storm Herald, that new aura, and perhaps you have something at least for Commander there. Number 3 is Austere Command. This is the one from Commander though. Again, a little harder to find this copy. It goes up 60 cents to 976. Huge Commander card played in a lot of different decks. Number 2 is Flusterstorm. Again, the one from Commander. It goes up 71 cents to 981. Since this card became Modern legal with that reprinting as the buy box promo for Modern Horizons, it hasn't seen a ton of Modern play, but it does show up occasionally here or there in a sideboard like a one of, but this card is a lot better in Legacy and Vintage sideboards. Also, this does see play in competitive Commander decks a lot of times, including the popular Sushi Hulk build. Number 1 is Painter's Servant from Shadowmoor. It goes up $1.78 to $29.19. Now, this is a card that has always seen Legacy play. It's been pretty popular at times in different versions of the Painter deck. But recently, there's been a Temur Snow version of the Painter deck that is gaining some momentum currently in the Legacy environment on Magic Online. So this card does see a pretty big jump this week, all things considered. Alright, it's time for our Vintage Spotlight. This is where we talk about cards that see play in Legacy, Vintage, 93, 94, or cards that are just popular among collectors. First, we have a Battle Royale Swamp, and this is the one that you see on the screen in particular. It's going up 236 this week to 525. This is a popular card that a lot of times you'll see people just pick up a whole bunch of for decks. That John Avon art is pretty striking. And some people like the novelty of having the white bordered lands in their deck, and they also are easy to see if you're fetching for them. So occasionally some of the really popular ones like this one do see a jump like this. I'm sure it will retract again soon. Next is Badlands from Revised on the reserve list, going up a little bit this week, up 282 to 211.94. Next is Mana Drain, the original one from Legends. It goes up 291 to 175.99. This still sees a little bit of vintage play, but this is more of a Commander card nowadays, especially competitive Commander. And again, many times you'll find this in Sushi Hulk builds. Okay, all the cards left on the list are actually cards from Unlimited, and I mentioned last week that I started to see some of the Unlimited cards heating up again. Collectors like to pick those up because in a lot of cases the Alpha and Beta cards have gotten out of reach, and many of these were losing value for a while, so there does appear to be some renewed interest, at least in a few of the cards, and here's one of them, Wrath of God. It goes up 1002 to 68.99 this week. Next is Mahamoti Jin from Unlimited. It goes up 22.37 to 109.99. Interestingly enough, this card and the next card were both reprinted in Mystery Boosters. And that next card is Birds of Paradise from Unlimited, going up 67.76 to 295. Savannah from Unlimited, of course on the reserve list, but was reprinted one more time and revised. It goes up 74.97 to 499.95. When it comes to this card and the next one, keep in mind a lot of sellers are closing their warehouses right now, delisting cards, and harder to find cards could be going up in value in part because of that. So let's look at the next card. It's Bayou from Unlimited, again on the reserve list, but did get reprinted and revised. It goes up 120.50 this week to 682.99. Alright, as if this whole video hasn't been a Commander Spotlight, a few more Commander cards to talk about. Steel Enchantment still on the list. It goes up $1.18 to $5. Now this has never been reprinted, which is part of the reason it has been spiking recently, I think. And it has seen some increased Commander play with the cards from Theros Beyond Death hitting the format. And in particular, this could be good against Underworld Breach. Sylvan Tutor goes up $1.19 to $51.91, getting harder and harder to find all the time in good condition, being from Portal, has yet to see a reprint. It is a great Commander card, great tutor to have, and it's found in competitive decks like Sushi Hulk. Atraxa, Praetor's Voice, this goes up $1.46 to $29.65. This is the one from Commander 2016, can only be found in foil. And there's a couple things going on right now with this card. First off, it's a very popular Commander card to begin with, but also it did get a Command Zone podcast mention this week, which could have brought a little more attention to it. Beyond all that, if you've been paying attention to the little teases about Ikoria, it sounds like a lot of different counters are going to be used in the set and in the Commander decks. And if some of those cards turn out to be good, Atraxa could see some spikes in the future. Contamination from Urza Saga goes up $1.52 to $24.99. This does see some Commander play. Many times it's in the popular Yawgmoth Thran Physician builds. Test of Endurance goes up $207 to $25.99. And of course, we talked a lot about this card last week. A lot of folks have been building life gain Commander decks because of things like Daxos and Heliod and some of the other cards from Theros. And this card has dried up in the marketplace. All right, on to our Pauper Spotlight. Just one card today. Bojuka Bog, this is the one from Commander. It goes up 12 cents to $2.69. This card was actually reprinted in Mystery Boosters. Most of the other copies are going down in value, but this one's going up. You'll find this in Mardu Aggro and some other builds in the format, but it also sees Modern, Legacy, and Vintage play too, and it's a huge Commander card. All right, on to the Premium Spotlight. I'll give my disclaimer really quick. I don't like to talk too much about rare foils and promos because if you go online, sometimes you just don't get good data if there's not a lot of copies for sale or selling. And sometimes that data can be manipulated, but I like to find one or two cards every week that feel like they are moving naturally with the market. This one's kind of a follow-up from last week. It's Test of Endurance, the foil copy from Judgment. It goes up $64.05 to $84.95. You might remember the regular copy kind of caught up with the foil last week, and I said, watch the foil. It's going to jump next. There you go. Obviously, this one's drying up in the marketplace too. All right, that does it for the Market Watch. And making these videos is great for me. It helps me stay focused and stay in my routine and keep things going. And I hope that this video helps you in a similar way, that even though maybe you don't really care about card prices as much right now, that watching this, putting it on in the background even, will allow you to kind of stay focused on something that's a little happier. And ultimately, we're going to get through this. Like I said, do what you have to do. Stay home, stay safe, take care of each other, take care of yourself. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon and have a great day.